Technology Masterclass. First of all, let me know if you all can hear me by putting a little something in the chat so I can make sure you all can hear me clearly.
All right, your volume is a little low, Chris. Maybe you can adjust.
Always low. Okay. How about now?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, good. All right, so we're talking about media and technology in general and in the church. I definitely hope a lot of church techs are on here because we have a lot of work to do. So let's proceed. We need to stay on the cutting edge. It's the first thing we need to do in many of our churches, and that requires us to definitely invest. And I know it's hard for many churches to actually invest because of funds and all of that, but have fundraisers, do these type of things to gather the money that's needed, you know? Um, okay, Edward says the audio needs adjusting. Give me one minute. Gotcha, hold on. Okay, how about now? Can you guys hear me?
Perfect audio, perfect.
All right. Okay, I guess that'll be the words. Okay, so staying on the cutting edge, in support of findings from the World Video Developer Report, these trends suggest that consumers are shifting away from hardware and cable subscription services, and now to high-speed cloud-based streaming models. Also, gaming and altered reality tech are growing in demand. Now, it is our duty to now go ahead and purchase these equipment, you know? Definitely have to work on the equipment we have in our churches. You cannot produce quality work with a Windows computer. It won't work. It won't. All right. And so you need to get at least a MacBook, you know, work on getting something like that for your church, or even recommending or suggesting it to your pastor. And then for people in media in general, you need to invest in quality equipment, which requires us staying on the cutting edge. All right. So we're going to look at some trends. Video tech for consumers. Cutting edge technology refers to technological devices, techniques, or achievements that employ the most current and high-level IT developments. In other words, technology at the frontiers of knowledge, leading and innovation. IT industry organizations are often referred to as cutting edge. Cutting edge is also known as the leading edge technology or state-of-the-art equipment. Now, you don't have to get the best thing on the market, but you try to get as close to it as possible, you know? Look at the trends in 2020. Subscription streaming video services continue to grow. Streaming media players, unit sales are catching up to traditional setup boxes. Streaming device sales have replaced disc players, but this legacy remains. Smart TVs continue to grow. 4K is beginning to get big. Gaming is larger than you think. 5G is about to land. Of course, you know that's a big topic everyone's been talking about with COVID. And so 5G is definitely on the planet at the moment. I even hear they have 6G already, but we're just probably being exposed to 5G itself. VR, virtual reality, of course, we know that's becoming more popular. And so definitely we can look forward to those type of things coming forth even in 2021. Let's proceed. Economical equipment for streaming. Elgato Cam Link 4K. This is economical for your church. So church is looking for the cheap or economic way to go. You can search this up on Amazon, Elgato Cam Link 4K. Direct line from your computer to the Cam Link, and you can stream. That's the most easiest way. If you're just trying to get a camera and you just want to put the camera and hook those two up, your camera and your computer, then definitely that would be the way to go. It's more economic. You wouldn't be able to put on graphics and stuff, but at least you'll be able to hear and see when you're live. Computers recommended in 2020, the MacBooks, the iMacs, the latest Intel Core i7 processors. You need these things, all right? For churches, I would say at least have some MacBooks and editing softwares in your department, all right? Invest in your media departments, listen to their recommendations and suggestions. That's to the pastors, senior pastors, please. Number 5, Blackmagic Design Ultra Studio is a reliable and affordable way to go for church streaming as well. And so if in the event you want to invest in something like that, you can let your pastors know that those are 2 ways that you can stream economically, because I know some pastors worry about their wallets, and that's understandable. But if you're looking for quality, you're going to have to spend money. You have to invest. That's definitely what you're going to have to do. For those that don't know me, because I think someone say little info on myself. I am Kristoff, the founder and owner of Church Boy Production Studio. And I specialize in videography, photography, graphic design. And I just want to empower many media techs out there to get involved in cutting edge technology to further and enhance the kingdom of God and media in general. But my stance would be the church, all right, just so you all know. So I want to introduce to you, I hope you all have good Wi-Fi, to many church techs and people in media in general, is the live streaming product called the Sling Studio. This product has taken me far with streaming. I produce my own graphics and stuff like that. So I'm able to import them on a flash drive, and I'm able to have graphics, lower thirds, intros, extras, stuff like that. And this can be essential, especially to churches. Media people in general, you can, depending on what you're doing it for. I've done a talk show with it. Sofa Talk with Sylvian, I've done that before. All of that was using this powerful product that I'm about to show you guys. It is definitely the economic and quality way to go. If you ask me, I would suggest it to anyone. And I really think the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, if he wants to get a grip of technology in terms of communicating portably, he should take this around with him. All right, enough talk. Let me let you all see what it is. So take a look at this.
This is Sling Studio, the first affordable live streaming multi-camera platform, an all-in-one wireless solution that's portable and easy to use. 100% battery operated, Sling Studio requires no extra cables, external power, router, or network. The Sling Studio Camera Link wirelessly connects to virtually any camera on set at distances up to 300 feet. Setup is no sweat, taking minutes, not hours. From simply using a smartphone to taking advantage of up to 10 wireless sources, Sling Studio has a vast array of connecting options designed to best fit your production needs. Whichever way you choose to connect, all sources are instantaneously available on the Sling Studio console app. Intuitively designed for the most dynamic live directing program with features like custom graphic and video imports, live switching transitions, picture-in-picture, and more. Live streaming capabilities let you share directly to Facebook, YouTube, or any RTMP destination. Every recording is stored on a single SD card. All files automatically sync and timecode with Sling Studio's Adobe Premiere Pro extension and Apple Final Cut Pro converter. Sling Studio, the easiest and best solution for live switching, live streaming, and multi-camera production on the market today. This is Sling Studio.
Wow. I was amazed all over again. Anyone else would suggest that to your pastor? If any media techs from the churches are here, you could unmute your mic. I want to hear you. Would you actually suggest this product to your pastor or even someone in media in general? Would you? Give me your
I
thoughts.
would definitely. I've done that already. Been
Wow.
recommending that a year ago.
My God, and they still have not done it. I think I know who that is, but I'm not going to call the name. I know who you suggested it to as well, and I suggested it as well, but this comes hand in hand. If the
Listen,
churches don't invest, you
listen.
understand.
One thing I bless God for is, listen, if the churches are gonna hold a stance, let
Yeah,
God continue to put us in position to have to make some decisions.
that's right. Yes, ma'am.
These times right here are forcing decisions like this.
This is it right here. You're right, definitely. And I definitely thank God that you tuned in to hear more about it. You know, many churches I told about it, they didn't take my information quite serious right there and then. But could I tell you, the majority of them have called me and now told me that they need me to come to their churches and to set up this for them. And so all of that time, you had me. I was free and telling you, come on, I can set this up for you. Just get the equipment. I will come there and I will personally give your whole media department a tour of how to utilize it to its full potential. And so definitely, I'm glad you all see how effective this can be. And even for media personnel in general, could you believe the prime minister is on the go all the time? Wouldn't something like this be so essential for him and his in his profession? He's all over the place. Suppose there's an emergency meeting, even for NEMA, for hurricane season coming up. These type of tools can help them on the go. This is battery operated and can go live and stream and record and mix without power for 2 hours. This is an actual multimedia studio in that backpack. And this is what I currently operate in. So when you all see different things online, for those that do have me as a friend or anything, definitely this is what I use. Even for pre-recorded services, I mix and I edit. And what's so fascinating about it, you get to take the actual template and you can place it in Adobe After Effects. You can place it there and you can edit in Premiere Pro, and edit stuff, edit different graphics from Adobe After Effects and place it into Premiere Pro. I definitely think you should suggest this to your pastor. Let them know that this is the way to go. Don't look at no other expensive way. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars, X, Y, Z. I will let you know, I did have one problem with the sling at one point in time. What I had to do was send the sling back to the US and they sent me a new replacement hub. What I'd suggest, don't get it specifically from Amazon. You'd have to download a VPN app on your iPhone or Android, connect to a US server, go on the Sling Studio site and buy it directly from them. All right, that's recommended. But I'm thankful that you all would take this information and tell your senior pastors, tell people in the ministry, even your media department. And even if you don't get the equipment right now, begin to research and learn more about it. So when it gets here, it's not any frustration. You already know. You'd know in your mind, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is how I utilize it to its full potential. All right. So let me let y'all know more about this product. The Sling Studio is a all-in-one multi-streaming product that is completely affordable. You hear me? Completely affordable. Multi-camera live streaming, wirelessly connecting up to 10 cameras, smartphones, and drones to get a perfect angle in HD. I think y'all hear that. That's a drone, I said. Stream your live Switch video production to live Facebook Live, YouTube, Vimeo, Twitch, Periscope, Vimeo, all of them. Restreamio, Restream, RTMP sites, all of them you can use to sling with. Use the free iOS or Android Capture app to quickly stream and create wireless multi-camera productions from your Apple or Android devices in full HD. Wireless and portable. Sling Studio works wirelessly up to 300 feet, saving you hours of setup and teardown time. Mac or iPad control. You can use your Mac devices or an iPad to monitor your feeds and easily switch between 4 cameras in real time. You see what I tell you? This is definitely a product you'd probably want to get. It's on the cutting edge. Sling Studio just came out in 2018, I think it was. And you can manually or auto have it switch, meaning it can only be you at the setup. Just a one person, which and I regularly do that. You set up your cameras and you switch between them when, or just cut on the auto switch and it will do it itself. Import custom and motion graphics, um, add tests, overlays, scoreboards, instant replays. Let's just say for sports, even sports organization, you guys can get into it. Referee info, chroma key for green screens, blue screens, whatever type screens. Just make sure you don't have on the same color as the screen. Lower thirds and use compositions like PIP, those picture-in-picture motion, quad view, and video conferencing modes. All right, so this is powerful. The Sling Studio, easy 4K post-production. Now, I know you all know we are heading out of the, what do you call it, the era of HD. 4K will now be the new HD, and SD will now be the new HD. All right, so
Hi, Kristoff. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm okay, thank you. My name is Claudia. I just have one question to ask. I know you've noted that this camera, I mean, this Sling Studio works with you work with it works with anything. But
Yes.
can you suggest a particular camera or any camera works with this, and what would be a price of like a similar, like something small? You said, everything's cost effective.
Uh-huh.
What would be a camera suggested to purchase with the Sling Studio?
That is coming up. Don't worry. It's coming up very shortly. I'm gonna get to that one.
Okay,
Um,
thank you.
yeah. Let me continue. It says, what do you call it? 4K. Yes, 4K post production. That's where I was. We're heading out of the arena of HD. HD will be the new SD, and of course, 4K will be the new HD. With 4K post-production supported, get up to 7 recordings on a single storage device, including your feeds, your program, recording, and quad view. You save hours of post with time sync in Adobe Premiere Pro. Why? Because it automatically syncs your footage up. Now, keep in mind, Sling Studio only works with HDMI cameras. Affordable video production switcher. Sling Studio is the most economical live production video switcher on the market today. It's compatible with cameras from Sony, Canon, Panasonic, Nikon, JVC, GoPros for the band view, or for a fourth secondary view. Blackmagic, Olympus, DJI drones. I've tried that before. It's amazing in 4K and supports up to 1080 with 60 frames per second HDMI video input from these cameras. All right, so if you look at this picture, they have the camera, the camcorder itself, the actual DSLR camera, a smartphone, and a regular HDMI camera as well. You see these two black things behind the camcorder. It says a Sling Studio camera link. These camera links cost $350, and they are an external price to the $999 apart from that Sling Hub already. So to budget in at least 3 cameras, because the Sling Studio itself has a HDMI input. So you can have one directly to that. That will always be your main signal. From there, you have an extra 2 camera links. You can have more than 2 camera links, but if you wish, you can have that. Pair them up to the camera links and definitely stream using those camera links. Those camera links last for up to 3 hours. And then if you want to use your smartphone, which I'd only suggest that if you have an iPhone, because you know. And then of course cameras. We want to make sure we have the most stream 2 camera links. But if you wish, it would definitely be good to have a good quality camera, which I'm gonna get to in a moment. So it's for under $2,000. You have a complete multimedia package. The Sling Studio, or the Sling Studio Hub alone is $999, like I just said. And the package includes all of what you see here. Amazon have those wacky, prices and everything. And so definitely it is something that you would want to get a hold on. I'd recommend that. The camera links, you see those 2 things there, they are camera links. That's what you need. definitely keep that in mind if you expect to have multiple cameras. All right, let me proceed here. Just trying to turn this on here.
Just one question, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Someone says, with this device, what is the minimum network speed capacity to broadcast HD, as most churches don't go beyond basic networks?
My God, well, if your church does not have the basic internet um, requirements, this would not be a good way to go, which in your church you need to invest in that as well. I would recommend a live. If any of you know anyone at a live, tell them I tell you so. All right, so you could have like a router. You know those little, what they call them, Mom? Those are live black boxes, the MiFi box, boom. That's what it's called. If you want to get that out and you test it. Now get the unlimited package, please. Don't get no little one-day package, please. You want to get something that will last you. You need at least 3 to 5 megabytes per second with your upload speed, at least. And I know most churches are below that, but you need to, move forward and get greater speeds than that. I definitely recommend it. All right, let's continue and proceed. What do we have here? So as you can see, the church media tech, he has on his communication network as to what he'll be using to go live and communicate with different people if he have a full team with him. The Sling Studio, as you can see, it can be placed next to the soundboard wherever is most convenient for you. Wherever is most convenient for you. Do you still need to use Wirecast to stream with this setup? No, you don't need Wirecast, period. All of your graphics you would have imported already. You would have imported that already, and so you don't need to worry about that anymore. That'll be a thing of the past. All right. What's this over here now? For churches, take a look at this. So I hope you all see that. It is definitely something to invest in. Churches, I cannot express that anymore. And Dion, yes, you can use your postpaid phone instead of the box. That's what I use. But I'd recommend the router box because, of course, you'd need your phone to respond to other people and let them know what is what, communication wise, and call people, text people. You don't want that to interfere with yours. But I personally use my phone to gather more data, cut on my personal hotspot, and that's how I've been streaming. It's tend to be efficient and reliable once I do it in advance. You must prepare. Please plan and prepare. Don't just go ahead and think you're going live. No, go ahead of time. Go and look at what building you'll be stationed at. And me being a media production company, I try to do things in advance because, of course, it gives me the opportunity to, what do you call, brush out all of the problems or issues that may occur on that night or that day of the actual stream. So about my business, I told y'all I'm a videography company that specializes in videography, photography, and graphic design. I'd always want a way to stream professionally with graphics of my own and not other people's stuff and effects that I would produce in advance for the stream or the broadcast. And so I do all of these things in advance. My work really is before the actual stream because now I'm pre-producing or pre-rendering every graphic, the intro, the extra, the lower thirds, everything I do that in advance. So even for church text, you can have these things prepped. Let pastor know, listen, I need your Simon or I need your title, something in order to be able to show your audience the different graphics on the screen, whether it's via video, whether it's via a graphic design, however. All right, and so these are definitely things you should research and keep a mind on. Let's take a look. We don't serve a pop-down kingdom. We must represent Christ to the best of our ability. This is the church media text. We are responsible for ensuring those online can experience our worship and the word, of course, as if they're in the sanctuary. This is actually an evangelism tool. Look at the different graphics I have here displayed on the screen. These lure people in online. These are the designs that you want people to see. Let's just say before the broadcast. How about the night before? The actual title screen geared towards showing people or giving people a teaser as to what's to come. How about that? Palm Sunday, Easter, all of these things. How about a pre-recorded video the night before showing people, okay, pastor is about to do X, Y, and Z. Create a visual for them to understand what's about to come forth. And then you build excitement. You know, you definitely build excitement as to what's to come. I'm excited. That's how about cast your cares on the other side. That's a visual in itself. Something about casting your net in the ocean, stuff like that. Visually, you can see them, and you can definitely have those as teasers before people actually see the sermon. You know, because people don't just in and out your live streams on Facebook, and they don't know exactly what you're speaking about, which is why graphics is important. Have something indicating, okay, this is where we are. Even a scripture reading, what's happening. You don't want to leave your online audience lost to the point where they have to be asking people on the live, oh, well, how where are they? Or what's the scripture reference? What's happening? Don't leave them out. Remember, this is a part of the kingdom as well. We're trying to save souls. So suggested softwares, amazing apps to take your videos to the next level. I don't know how much of you have seen any of these softwares before. vMix, Adobe Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro from Mac users, After Effects, Wirecast, and OBS Studio. So if you were to ask me which one of these I'd use for Windows, vMix would be the best. The only reason I don't operate vMix, and which is why Sling Studio came in handy for me, is because vMix is not available on MacBooks as yet. But if I had a chance to, because I've already bought that product, which costs about $350, all I did was, what do you call it? Well, I bought it. But if I did have it, then I'd do my streaming, my mixing, recording, everything through that as well. Now, it wouldn't be easier to add cameras into vMix if you don't have the proper equipment. You'd need Blackmagic Design in that case, most definitely. But for Mac users, I would definitely say Sling Studio is best. Even without a Mac, buy an iPad. Remember, the Mac is portable. Download the app. It's a free app in the App Store. Go ahead, and only with iOS devices. Keep that in mind. The Sling is only available with iOS devices, no Androids. Adobe Premiere Pro is for editing your graphics, visual teasers, different visual graphics that you may want your congregants to see, people online. How about the worship, the words, stuff like that? You probably want to make that in Photoshop, though. I'd recommend that. Because with video, it'll be a lot harder. Unless you have one of the camera links plugged into your computer, but that creates more work, and you don't need more work than you already have. So Adobe Premiere Pro would definitely be good for graphics. Let's just say the intro to your church, a 5-minute countdown, put First Lady and the pastor, put a little congregational video in the background blurred out over some bokeh effects and probably a few flares, and that's your intro or your countdown. And if you want to be extra fancy, create an actual intro with content you've had from the church in the past. It's always good to see stuff come to life, you know, footage that you haven't seen in years or months. Definitely good to bring them up. And then it gives a good look to the overall ministry. All right, Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects work hand in hand. You can edit in both of them. Adobe After Effects is a bit more advanced, but definitely if you can, learn about it. Final Cut Pro, definitely good for the Mac. I haven't had any experience working with that, but it's good. So my media colleagues have said. Wirecast, I don't recommend it, especially if you have good Wi-Fi. Not that you need lower for any of these other softwares, but Wirecast, definitely I wouldn't recommend it for streaming. It freezes and buffers a lot. I've had experience with it. OBS Studio, blank, no. I left that for last, just as an option if you all have to go that way. But if you don't, please don't. It would be most appreciated. All right, so the cameras, back to Claudia, my dear Annie, that asks what type of cameras. Sony, Panasonic, and PTZ cameras. You can choose any of these models. They have different models online through Amazon. Go on Amazon, go on eBay, find yourself a good, decent camera. I currently use the MC2500, the Sony camera. That's proven to be good. But remember, 4K is the direction the world is headed in. So whatever you do, just make sure you buy a camera that is at least 4K. Now, I know it's going to be pricey. 4K cameras start around at least $19.50, at least the one I'm looking at, which was a Panasonic camera. Sony and Panasonic is definitely leading in clarity. So the way it looks in the media definitely impresses me with the color that you see, the real true color that they activated. And of course, you know, technology is always getting better every day. It's always advancing. And so I definitely try a Sony camera if you were to ask for my suggestion. PTZ cameras are those that you stationary, you'll have to plug them in. Let's just say you have a funny shaped church and you wanna put these cameras in a halt position, meaning they don't move, period. These are not things that you can move. You have to stationary, plunge them down somewhere, plug them in, whether it's via some screws or something, put them in somewhere and make sure you keep them there and you're able to maneuver the camera using the toggle. All right, and so you're definitely able to use it by maneuvering the toggle that they'll have for you. And you don't have to actually be to the camera. You can be in a room. I love New Birth Church because they have this installed there. And all I had to do was integrate my Sling Studio with their system, and we were awesome to go. We shot harp and bowl with Judy Experiences there. And we used, that was my first time using the PTZ systems. And let me tell you, that was powerful. When I tell, because I was at the helm all night. It was only me and about 4 cameras. And boy, was that amazing. And of course, I had the graphics and everything loaded on the chip already. Not the chip, the flash drive, the USB flash drive. And once I inserted that in the Sling, I was able to be on my way. So your brand is important. Please take control of your church's brand. Important as media departments and media church techs. You have to have the kingdom looking right. Don't put any scrubby looking thing. If you rushed it, Please don't push it out. Don't. Don't post it. I would rather you plan, prepare, and then post than to post, revisit, and then know you made a mistake, and then you have to change it up. Because now you don't give a good first impression, because now you're changing the way it looks already. And so if your brand is important, make sure your church brand looking good and decent. If it doesn't look good, and please get criticism from other people. Don't just take it, oh, it looked good to me, so I can push it out. No, get a second-hand opinion, see how they take to it, go from there. Like I tell y'all, I've shot shows with this. Sofa Talk. I would send some videos and photos if you'd want to, but just PM me so I can show you exactly how we had to set the show up in a certain way with the logo reveals, things that most shows wouldn't have. You try to be unique. And that's what Sofa Talk is. It's a very unique show tailored towards its actual brand. It never lost its quality. It stayed and it was consistent. And that's probably one of the very, very first shows that wake me the hardest. But that's what we've been called to do. All right. So the man was asking the minimum network speed. Please, the word invest is in that pink box. Send that picture to your pastor and tell him to invest. You need at least 5 to 10 megabytes per second for good, stable streaming. You may not have a Wi-Fi problem, but it could be your router that can't release that amount of bandwidth. You understand? So what you need to do, buy a router. I'd recommend, see my router recommendations, a AC 1900 Nighthawk router. Invest in it, please. It pushes out wonderful Wi-Fi and you have control. Don't mind what your children in the house say. No matter how bad they say the Wi-Fi is, it is superb. And of course, we have the Red Trio package here at home, and then the Alive data plan is what I use to stream with. Get on YouTube and search up tutorials on how to use Premiere Pro, Adobe After Effects for church intros. We are on lockdown, but not from knowledge. So please, definitely take the initiative and go over it, make it something during this isolation, during this time of isolation. You can make this one of your projects. View different tutorials as to how you can be better using Adobe Premiere Pro. Even if you get a grasp on it. At first, it is advanced, but of course, practice makes perfect. You gotta keep going at it. Even in the late night hours, if you don't feel like doing nothing, just start watching them. How to begin Adobe Premiere Pro, how to begin Adobe After Effects. You would be amazed. And please, churches, don't abuse your media techs, eh? They're helping you. Please, don't abuse them. All right? So, the mountain of media. There is money in this field, people. I don't know who may or might have lied to you, but there is money in this field. People say they broke, but they're really broke. Dion said, and which one of those Adobe apps should I use to do service countdown? Let me tell you a cheap way of doing it. You can go on YouTube, download a unique countdown intro and manipulate it for your use. You can go through Adobe Premiere Pro to make those. I know Adobe put their pricing down for the Adobe Creative Suite to, I think, now $20.99 a month because of COVID. And so thank God, look at that. You can buy and own Adobe Premiere Pro every month for $20.99. It used to be more than that. And so definitely take advantage of that. So Adobe Premiere Pro, Dion, use that. That's the software that I tell you get into. I'll have more classes towards that later on in the year to help you with Adobe Premiere and After Effects. But this is the mountain of media. We have tons of things. We have tons of things that we can do. We're needed. Don't let anyone fool you and say we're not. Money in that field. That's what they say. Stay in your lane and do what you think is best. All right, let's go now. Price and tip. Like I tell y'all, once you produce quality work, clients will pay you in full for your professional services. I'm telling you. Now, I will tell you, the secular world pays more than the actual church itself. It's sad, but of course, they pay on time and they pay in full, ahead of time, in advance. Keep that tip. Don't let no one run over you. Give them the price, and if they can't give you the funds, then you can't give them the work. It's that simple. All right. Any questions so far before I continue? I'm almost done, but anyone have any question? Yes, indeed, Cheryl, that is right. Any questions so far? Let me know. If you have a question, you can unmute your mic.
Hello, everyone. Kristoff, this is Phil.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have a question. As a newbie and a person who is operating her own brand at times, we want to push things out on social media. What is an app I can use on my phone to help push out posts quicker?
All right. So I'll tell you this now. There are no great professional apps that will definitely push out work the way you would want it to with quality. There are apps, but with quality. You want it to look and you don't want your quality to drop. I would recommend doing this from a computer. You can't, it's just no way to put it. You got to have one of the greatest phones in the world for that to happen because the amount of editing you have to do, and then, your screen and small. How much could you do on that? And then 2-to-1 apps that do have that feature, it'll look like everyone else own. Why? Because they'll have the same presets for you. Like iMovie, this little trailer thingy that I see everyone put out. That's counterfeit. You understand? It's counterfeit. And every time I see it, I'm like, wow, am I supposed to be amazed from this happened or from it came out? I knew this was gonna look like this, Yes, Ray, quality is everything. You have to be consistent with it. If not, you lose your audience. You lose your congregation. You will lose. And so definitely watch out for your quality. And I ain't saying no little 480p. No, 720. Y'all need to know the differences between these different quality settings. I don't know if y'all see the little setting on YouTube, but anytime I go on YouTube, I have a habit of turning it up to the highest. I want to see every detail I could. Every detail I could. Look at Vimeo. They're offering those 4K videos. Now you have to have good Wi-Fi for that, I ain't gonna lie. And so definitely work on that. See if you can get on that ASAP. Definitely. All right. That's needed. Yes, Clifton. Definitely. All right. So yeah. Fasil, I would recommend on a computer. I wouldn't suggest a phone. There are apps, I will tell you, but I don't want your work looking like other people. Agreed. I can't take anything else exactly from YouTube. You need the best. You have to. Yeah, man. Let me continue. So I created a marketing strategy. Look at this. Create a marketing strategy on social media. Streaming is now in demand than it's ever been before because of COVID-19. Another industry is blooming. Technology and innovation is the way forward. Could I tell you the amount of funeral requests I had after COVID? Is a lot. And people say there's no money in the field. And I'm like, once you produce quality work, they've seen it before. Let me give you all this joke. I'm quite sure some of y'all that know me real good saw it. I was at a funeral and a woman had booked me and I felt so sad. So I told her to pay the following day because this was the day before the funeral. She's trying to look for a videographer. On that day, I come and I appear there at the funeral, coming down to the graveside. She called the phone. And even though I was there, she called the phone because she never saw me before. She don't know me, but she assumed I'm a 60-year-old man. And my Auntie Claudette could relate because she was there with me, working with me on the second camera. And so at the graveside, at the end, she called and I answered and I say, I'm here. You don't see me? And I've never seen her. So we're both looking for each other. And I finally come across a woman who's on the phone. And I'm trying to tell her, this is me. And she looks at me and she said, for God's sake, you're a child. And I say, well, a child created those graphics that you love, which is why you booked me. You understand? And so they really box you in. They really define you from the age in itself. Definitely. Because I speak like an elderly man. Okay, sir. I ain't gonna say nothing. But anyhow, I ain't gonna say not a word to you. All right, but definitely she had recognized me and she was like amazing. She could not believe it. And I kept my professional stance on everything. I didn't go out of the way and say, well, woman, what did you expect? You only think these things in your head, but you can't really say them, All right. But that was awesome. That was another way of marketing myself Could you imagine how much people, word of mouth, she gave the company and recommended, okay, well, he did this funeral for us. Did you see it? XYZ, it was superb. The quality was nice. We loved it. We received our recording afterwards. Keep your word, people. Please, MediaTeks, keep your word. If you tell Pastor you can have these graphics ready for Friday, have them ready for Friday. Send them over to him for him to preview. If you say you can send them Saturday, same requires. Please. Always remember, be yourself, be creative, be professional, and leave a remarkable first impression in the profession of media. Many people need us in churches, in businesses, in news outlets, for personal media, in real estate, in conferences, in events, so much more. Once you join media, you become an actual walking camera. So be careful what you allow people to see. Please be careful as to what you post. You have to be careful. And don't miss and post anything on the wrong page. Leave your personal account for someone else. All right? Don't put it, if you know you post on a daily basis, I've done this before, so I could speak on this from experience. Do not post on the wrong page, like different things on the wrong page, because then you give, listen, social media is so powerful. In a push of a button, bam, it's done out there. And you really can't take it back. Whatever you post, you post. Whatever you delete, it really isn't deleted. It's stored somewhere. But as far as you're concerned, it's gone. All right, so be careful as to what you will post on social media. Definitely crucial to your brand. So other alternatives for streaming for people in media. One stream. Get back to business. That's another one. Because of COVID, we must practice social distancing. And so because of this, we have to do things a bit different in the streaming world. Whether it's pre-recording on the weekdays or premiering it live on the weekends, one stream can do that. Pre-record with your video camera. Put it in an editing software like Adobe Premiere Pro or Final Cut or whatever general editing software you have. Put it in there, render it, and play it back through one stream. One stream will allow you to play that video live from whatever platform you decide to, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, whatever. Once they allow those streaming inputs to be live on that, you can. I preferably use BeLive for streaming shows on evening services. And of course, guess what? BeLive became another stream of income, and I'm sitting right at home making money every day through that app. Could you believe it? All of this was done through research. These three softwares, you may not even know people were using them because, of course, they've switched up and they've compromised all the logo, the concepts, everything is switched to their brand. And so with BeLive, I do Shanique Miller show, the conversation through BeLive. I don't know if you've seen that. I had an account, I bought it after the first two shows, and I did my first show with Prophetic Release, hosted by Minister Felicia Archer. And it came out successful. That was my test. After I saw the first 3 nights were successful using it, I bought it for $30. Every month it's $30, keep that in mind. But it's definitely an essential tool that you can use at some point. If you're having people come on and talk with each other, and you can have up to 4 people on the screen at one time. Definitely something you want to look into. StreamYard is another good one. I haven't used it, but I've heard good reviews about it. And so if you want to check that out, you can go ahead on StreamYard and check out how much they charge. But I know BeLive is $30. You can get your church involved in that. Let's just say they're having a conversation. Now, I ain't talking about a bunch of 8, 10 people, no. You got like 4 or 3 or 2, yeah. But other than that, no, I wouldn't fool with that. So now the reason y'all don't see Zoom on this, I really don't recommend Zoom because it's unreliable. After the first 2 to 3 tries, and then of course it cut you off on Facebook for whatever reason. I just stopped using it because it wasn't making any sense on my behalf. And even though you pay your $15, I guess they say that's what you get. And then when you try reach out to customer service, it's a problem. So I'd recommend one stream, BeLive or StreamYard. One of them, but BeLive I definitely recommend for you. You can research it. They have a 2-week free trial. So for churches that want to test it out, go ahead on BeLive.tv and check it out. It is definitely something you want to be interested in if you have different discussions, let's just say on the end times or in media in general. I think ZNS use StreamYard. Their Northern Edition use StreamYard. But BeLive is something I recommend. And you can bring in people from all over the world. using a link, a stream link. You can send that to them and listen, they will come in, you can test it in advance and you can go live. They're soon implementing the feature where you can stream on multiple platforms at the same time through BeLive. And so I'll probably post when they actually allow that feature, because I have a few people that are interested, a few clients that want to do that on Facebook and YouTube live at the same time. But you will need more Wi-Fi bandwidth speed. So don't just think, oh, will I get BeLive and I get to go live on 2 platforms? No, make sure you have enough internet bandwidth to uphold both of those platforms at the same time. All right, so this is some of the graphics that I've done for Shanique Miller Live, the conversation. I've created all of these using Photoshop. Late at night is when my creativity is at its peak. Graphics I produce and uploaded through BeLive for the conversation. So all of these hot topics, the economy of the Bahamas, a little graphic there. Chester Cooper, the conversation, he was on it, and then a phone conversation. Although she has a phone and that's how she talks to the person, I was still able to add that graphic so people know when they come into the stream, this is who I'm talking to, or this is what the conversation is doing right at that moment. You want to keep people posted and updated. Churches, please, for media techs, if you notice anything wrong with your stream when you begin, please end it right away. If you see people talking about sound, X, Y, Z, I would rather you end it. Why? When people come to view that over again, if things are not right within the next 5-10 seconds, I'm telling you, I am closing out that video because I'm not listening to it. And I can tell you from experience, you know, young people, we get very twitchy very quick. If we don't see something that interests us within, what, 5-10 seconds, if 5 or 10 seconds, you don't lose us. You lose us. And so you have to keep it attractive. You have to keep it moving, which is why I love visual effects. It stops you, it stuns you, like you want to see exactly what's going on. You know, I always tell people, ZNS, graphics, anyhow, it's best I not go there. I could go there. But anyhow, leaders lead. I work every job that comes to me because I understand the vision I have. And if you don't lead by example, they won't know what standard you have for them to follow. You know, you have to lead by example. If you don't show them what quality looks like, then they put anything out there and say it's quality. You have, listen, set your standard. Set your standard. Definitely. All right. Yes, Sylvia, and BeLive is, oh, I recommend it. Oh, it has saved me. It has made me money. And I thank God for the wisdom he gave me to operate it. Now, some people don't know how to use it, but of course, that's why they have tutorials online. And they have a whole Facebook group for you to troubleshoot anything. If you want to follow me, guys, you can follow my pages down there. I'm not finished just yet. I'm wrapping it up right now. What do I have here now? Communication is key. Contact the clients, please, for different media techs. I know some of y'all probably have this as a profession. If you're going to tell a client, you're going to call them back, and I'm talking to myself too, please. Ricardo's iPad, does BeLive work well with? Let me know. But communication is key with your clients. I'm talking to myself as well. Contact us or contact them back. Please don't procrastinate. Call them back. Call them back. Don't say you called them and you didn't. Please. Ricardo, yes. This iPad telling me to pray. Okay. Does BeLive work well with the Sling Studio? BeLive wouldn't be something you need with the Sling Studio, right? So you don't have to worry about that. Sling Studio is its whole package. You don't need, listen when I tell you, when you get that, that's that. Don't worry about anything else. You have whatever you need. All right, so get the Sling Studio. That's it. Or you own it. So what is the problem? You need to troubleshoot. What's the reason you need BeLive for? Let me know. And if you all have any questions, let me know. Thank you for tuning in. This is it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be hosting a church media and tech event later this year. Me and Stephen will converse and get that out if you want to be a part of that. And of course, I'm going on a tour to teach some churches about how they can take their media departments to the next level using the Sling. Definitely. No problem, Ray. No problem, Auntie. Yes, connect with your clients. Your money is in the follow-up. Correct. So if anyone have any questions, you can unmute your mic. If not, no problem. But that is the end of my class on today. Thank you. We'll be waiting. Okay, Dion, no problem. I see all the private comments. Great class. Amazing. D'Angelo, yes, sir. Definitely. Oh, I will recommend y'all should get into gimbals. You know, we're heading into this cutting edge innovation industry. I would say get into gimbals and creams for different churches. That would be, listen, that's another perspective to your entire video. It takes it to another level. I see the US people got it. That's something like what Mount Tabor has. Mount Tabor has those cranes in their church. They have one. I think they only have one. But that setup is nice, it's smooth. Once you have someone to operate that, could you imagine? I plan on getting about 2 of those and 2 more Sony cameras. I want to, listen, when I tell you all I want to stream something mega, I want to stream something mega. With those and even a drone, like a red carpeted event. Definitely gonna go into that. All right, I don't know if you addressed it before. I joined, but auto synchronization with your video feeds. Um, clarify on that when you say auto synchronization with your video feeds. And Annie Clarice, yes, I will be telling folks about this. Yes, no problem. I have streaming rates available. At the moment, I'm not accepting too much of it because of what we're currently going through. But as time progresses and the Prime Minister opens us different phases and different phases in Nassau, I will. I definitely want to connect. I've been following you for quite some time now. I want to do some upgrades and want some recommendations. No problem. No problem. I'm thankful that you're here to hear about it. And I hope many other, y'all please tell other church media techs, please. I want to start a group where it's just us, so we could talk about the issues that we experience on a day-to-day basis, including my church. My church doesn't have a media department at the moment because we're still working on sound. So don't think I all perfect in my church. No, sir, we ain't streaming yet. You know, some feeds would have an excellent video production, but because most folks don't line up their cameras, the audio looks delayed. And so see, Mr. Prowler, MMX, once you get that sling, that definitely syncs all of your cameras together. That resolves that problem in total. All right, once, and it could also be with setting you have your camera on 25 frames per second, 23, 30, 60, it all does, you know. So definitely Prowler. All right, it definitely syncs everything together. You won't have to worry about that. That is straightforward once you put all of your cameras in the sling, and that's what's so efficient and innovative. And you add that into Premiere Pro. Let's just say you saw an error during the service. You can tweak that, edit that, and everything is stored to that chip on the Sling Studio. You insert that into your computer. You can burn the sermon right there while Pastor praying and the Holy Ghost moving. You burning DVDs. So by the time they come out, or we moving out of the era of DVDs, put them on your flash drive. How about that? That wouldn't take long, and sell the flash drive to the people. Would you need to mix your sound? And if so, is there a mixer in the Sling Studio? Yes, there is a mixer. There is a mixer, most definitely. You hook the Sling up to a professional soundboard. All right, so don't just think the sound will sound good and everything. You have to hook your actual Sling using a 3.5 millimeter, what do you call it, auxiliary cord to the Sling. So from an XLR to a 3.5 millimeter adapter. That'd be awesome. That's what's recommended because the Sling input is 3.5. And then of course the XLR is what you use to hook up into the soundboard. All right. So I hope I've shown you all some things that could
I have one
probably.
question.
Yes, go ahead.
What drone would you recommend?
I currently have the DJI, what you call it? The DJI Phantom 4 Advance. That's what I use. I wouldn't recommend getting that now because, you know, they have other drones out at the moment. You might as well get the latest one. How about that? Okay, I see Stephen sent me a WhatsApp chat link for all media personnel. If you want it, PM me and I will send that to you. You'll be added into a WhatsApp group where we can stay updated and keep informed about different things happening. They probably just posted, okay, she just posted it in the chat box, so you guys can click it. and join the WhatsApp group, and we'll stay in touch in there. And then, of course, I can give you more info later on as to different equipment. All right, but definitely, the DJI Phantom 4 Advanced is what I'd recommend. Now, what you need, you have to change the module on the back of the on the back of the remote. I had to order a module from Amazon for you to have the HDMI output from the remote to the Sling Studio for that to appear there. All right, so don't think once you buy that, boom, you could stream using the Sling. No, make sure you have a HDMI module. Put in DJI HDMI module on Amazon. I think it cost me about $15-20. You could check it, buy it. It's easy to do by yourself. Just be very careful. My father did it, and so I didn't have to worry about that too much because I was scared. Couldn't tell me I was doing the right thing, but he did that, and we had it plugged in, and we tested it out, and I was amazed afterwards. I was truly amazed. Be careful with it. All right. Any other questions? I am done. I'm done. I don't know if you all can be online, but Carrington's event, Break Free, is on tonight via Vision Productions page. It's going to be awesome. I did the graphics for it. So when you see it, all of those are made through Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects. Definitely something you want to look out for. I thank you all so much for the opportunity and the time to speak with you all. And it's been amazing. It has been amazing. If you have any questions, you can let me know, but I'm finished.
All right, great presentation, Chris. For like Chris said, please join that group so we can all stay in touch and share all that information, as well as some other dates and times where we will be moving around the country with some sessions, right, Chris? On the church media, we want to do a seminar for just church groups,
Definitely.
departments, teaching you all to how to take your ministry departments to the next level. Thank you once again for joining this masterclass. For those of you that would like this recording, you can also just hit us up in that group and we'll get those information to you. Enjoy the day. Like Chris said, tune into the live concert with Carrington tonight on Facebook, 8
Yes.
p.m.
I'll be doing a watch party from it. So if y'all don't see it, you can come on my page as well.
Good stuff. Enjoy your evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us.